All right, what's going on, everyone?
Hey.
How's everyone doing? I see Galaxy Solutions in there. We got Sheldon Estes kicking it out with us.
Double J.
J. Cheers, everybody.
I can go for a double J right about now.
Dude, that's...
I just had one.
It was actually, man, I've had a good day today, I gotta say. It was, we're in, so I'm in Creston, BC, which anybody in Canada that knows about the kokanee beer, I'm pretty sure that's brewed here. So it'd be this place claim to fame. But we're in the middle of the Kootenay Mountains, right? So fucking beautiful scenery, and there's fuck all for snow, which is amazing.
Yeah, the no snow actually something I'm looking forward to now.
Oh, dude, I imagine I was on my way here. It was a very different story, though. It's not ended up being why I was not around for Tuesday night. Is between my place and here, I bet you I crossed at least 9 different mountain ranges. It was supposed to be like a 9.5, 10-hour day, depending on how many pit stops you have to make, sort of thing along the way. And getting through Castlegar, I posted up a video like, oh, where the fuck am I going or whatever? They're fucking the huge snow. And I'm like, oh, fucking G-Bay, fucking he's fucking probably laughing right now after all the laughing I've been doing at you for all the snow and that you've been getting. Keep it over there, buddy. Like, I don't want that. And yeah, it just made me chuckle thinking of that. But man, like, I've been all over southern British Columbia the last 2 years consecutively, and have seen really fuck all for snow anywhere. Really nothing even waist height. That's different out in the Castlegar area. And then about an hour and a half past that, going through, I think it's called the Kootenay Pass or the Creston Pass or something like that. There's an avalanche at the fucking top of the hill. And they ended up shutting down the highway for like 5-6 hours or something like that. So I was...
Can't win, eh?
Yeah. So here's the kicker on that one, man. I'm on my way, and I'm just about at that turnoff. And at that point, you've got like an hour and 12 minutes left to get here. And at that point, I'm about pretty close. I'm about at least 9.5 hours into my day. And I'm like, get me the fuck out of this truck now. I've been like this way for about 4 hours at this point. I get that notification. What the fuck? And then you have that, well, what the fuck do I even do now? And like, I've never been out here. This is all new land for me for about the last 4 hours of my drive at this point. Okay, well, Google Maps, like there's an alternate route, and there is. So I go up to Nelson, BC, and had to stop there and smoke a couple joints because I'm fucking irate. Like, I just got to get out of the truck for a good 20 minutes, half hour, or whatever, stretch the legs and be not cramped up. And I start going the way I was going to go on this detour way. And then I get about 10 minutes into the drive, and I get a notification from Google Maps saying, oh, we've got a faster route for you. They opened the pass that was closed on my way back, and it was still going to be about 15, 20 minutes. I think it said 17, and it's faster if I go that way. If I turn around and go all the way back, kind of, right? I'm like, well, I'm not happy about this, but hey, okay, at this point, 15 minutes is 15 minutes, and I want out of this truck. So I go back, get up this hill, and that they didn't open the pass at all. Not at all. It was very much closed. So again, Google Maps. What that was happening is Drive BC or whatever. They let out. Their thing was that they were hoping to have it open at 5 p.m. And they didn't. Right? They didn't get open till like 9. I was like, man. So it was interesting. But I got to give. This is where I got to also give another huge shout out to my old lady, because when I've been going out on the road the last all this year so far, she'll hook me up with some pretty good food to bring with me. That all I got to do is heat up. I got this little box that looks like a lunch kit, but it's actually a little stove that you plug into your lighter socket, and that'll heat up pretty much anything you need. So at least I was able to eat. Is imagine being stuck in the car for that long, and now you're fucking hungry, and I had good supply of good weed, so it was like you can make the best of the situation, right? Put the tunes on, watch some downloaded YouTube videos or whatever. It was, but man, when I got here, it was like fuck my life. Like, so thankful to just get out of the truck.
Yeah, I hear you on that.
So my apologies to everyone. That's what I was dealing with at that time. It ended up being a 16-hour day instead of 9.5, 10 hours. But we get here and the work seems to be better. We were dealing with some really tough terrain and a bunch of snow at the last contract, and this is beautiful area, fucking lots of nice shit to look at, mountains, lakes, and stuff like that don't have ice or anything like that on them. Running streams and shit like that. We're working with a couple of young fellas that are fucking. The one guy, he never shuts up about fishing, right? They're the kind of guys that have the fishing rods in the back seat of the truck at all times. And every time I was working with them yesterday, because they're like, every time you drive by anything that might fucking have running water down a stream or a pond or even a puddle on the side of the road, oh, I wonder if there's fish in there. I wonder if there's fish in there. It was just. I just enjoyed it, right? It was just that young excitement. Like, well, yeah, these guys are like early 20s still. I don't even think 25 yet. So,
one of the things I've enjoyed recently is watching urban fishing. You catch videos of these dudes and they go to the craziest little spots, man. Yeah. There's one guy, I think he was in Montana. I want to say Montana. But he was doing some like tributary stuff, like closer to like town, and then he's like, "I'll take you to a spot." And he was going to these little tiny creeks way in the middle of fucking nowhere, man, and catching like trophy trout. I'm like, "Ooh, those are your honey holes." Not telling no, because he'd have the camera off till he got there and shit. You know what I mean? Okay. Oh, yeah. Like when you're taking someone to your fucking stash.
Yeah. There's a guy on IG that I follow. I think his name's Ernie the Hog Snatcher. Right. And he's always in like urban areas. Like it'll be like runoff fucking like the LA River or whatever it is, where it's mostly just a big fucking concrete runoff. But then you get little fucking streams running out of it or whatever, stuff like that. Man, I'm just like that's cool. And he's pulling fucking hogs out of there, man. Big fish. It's cool. Places that I never would even consider. Now, I hope to hell he's not eating these things, and I doubt he is, because I imagine they're probably pretty freaking gross living in something like that. But, I've personally, I've always been a catch and release fisherman. I don't like the taste of fish. So, like halibut, cod, I'll eat that like all day long.
I like the whitefish. I like to catch and fry the whitefish, but when it gets the trout, the salmon, I'm not into that.
Yeah, I'm with you.
I love catching it. Trout fishing for me is therapeutic. It's like you have to for proper trout fishing, you have to go to places where they're not disturbed. These fish are so damn sensitive, man. Like they don't even like shadows or movement shit. Like they're just twitchy. So I think it's because they don't really live in open water. A lot of the time their activities are in streams and rivers and stuff, very confined space. So they're just they don't like anything around them, right? Because they're whatever. And the water temperature affects them big time. Water's too hot, they're lazy, and they don't really do much. Water's cool, they're frisky and adventurous and biting hard. So it's like, it kind of takes like you can't just go out to the side of any body of water and start catching rainbow trout. No, you got to go to, either a stocked area, which that's not really fishing, that's shopping. But yeah, you could go into these tributaries in the mountains and stuff like that. Like I'm sure you have so many cool spots for fishing in BC, like the Fraser River where they do the sturgeon fishing.
Don't ever fish that. I don't ever fish that river. I have. And yeah, the mighty Fraser, they call it that for a reason. It's a big fucking river. It runs through my hometown of Prince George, BC.
Okay.
So I've been there, done that, absolutely. But I consider that to be like polluted water. If I want to go salmon fishing, milk. Yeah, man, it's gross, but it's funny. So if you go up into like Mount Robson Park, so up going towards Edmonton, right? Going on the way through Jasper to Jasper, I should say, a little bit more specifically, where the Fraser River's headwaters are. It's clean, it's clear, beautiful, kind of turquoisey-ish, maybe if anything. But by the time it hits Prince George, chocolate milk just freaking gross. But if I wanted to go salmon fishing, actually, you know what? I can't say I wouldn't do that because I have fished the Fraser down and around Hope and closer to the ocean. So I guess I just got caught in a lie. I have fished that river freaking more than I just realized. Yeah. That was for like 2 years though. It was cool, man. That's like one of the great things about my cousin. She grew up in Hope, and that's where her dad was and stuff like that, her mom. And she meets some dude that's just like the young fella just mentioned, just completely mentally wired for fishing. It's on his brain at all times, sort of thing. That was my first time salmon fishing, was with him in the Fraser River there, right where the Coquihalla runs into the Fraser. So it was good times. Or go to like there's other places I would typically go though. But the lakes and the streams, yes, I can't wait, man. This outdoor season is coming fast.
Oh yeah, I got this new motorcycle. I'm just itching.
I believe it.
Yeah. It's kind of not much of an improvement. Like the Suzuki Katanas I was running for the last couple of years, they're like the heaviest, slowest, shittiest sport bike out there, right? That's why I would buy them, because they're so cheap and cheap to operate and everything, right? Insurance wise and everything. Now the Yamaha I just got, some insurance companies classify it as sport touring and some as super sport. So when you get a hold of the companies that believe it's a super sport, they're charging lots of money for insurance, but it's like, yes, the bike and model itself was used as their base for the GP racing back in the early 90s. How much of that shit carries over to the street model? Probably fucking nothing, other than the frame, right? Or probably not even. Who knows? So it's just like, it's kind of dumb, but it's an improvement by, I think, like 31 horsepower or something from my last bike.
Small bike like that though, like a light bike, light vehicle like that, 30 horsepower is fucking.
Well, no, the DRZ is 39 horsepower dirt bike. The Yamaha I just picked up is 100 and you can get them anywhere between 100 and 110. Some of them are worked a little bit or whatever, I don't know.
Yeah.
Like, or maybe it's the R6 model is the 110 or 108 horsepower, and the 600R I have is the 100. So it's a fast bike, but it doesn't wheelie, and it will if you want it to, but it's not like a scary bike where you have to, like some sport bikes, you got to watch the throttle. If you crack it, it'll legit jump out from underneath you, kind of thing. Where this one won't. If you're rolling and you crack on it, it's just gonna, it'll scare the shit out of you, but it's not gonna, rip out from underneath you.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've got to find all the fucking bike riders in the gang here. Start a little fucking Cariboo bike gang. Yeah, I got a couple buddies around here we go cruising with, which is nice, because one of them, not on our level of growing and stuff, but he's very familiar with it, and him and his dad would do it and stuff. So it's nice to go riding with those guys, because they're like one of the gang.
Yep. Yeah. Step outside for a minute, smoke a joint. Well, this is great. I got outside access from my hotel here, where my truck is like right freaking there, so I can just put y'all on the hood, and then you can look at my hotel room. Yay! But
awesome.
Seriously,
that's not bad.
Room 104 at the Ramada, Creston, BC. Anyone who wants to come smoke a joint, let's fucking
go. Same country, a little far away.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't think the friggin' computer will pick up the mountains if you're in the background too low there. Let's see. Yeah, they're way out there. You can't really see those too good, but they're nice. Okay.
Yeah, no, that's a beautiful sunset right there you got going on. Mountains. It's a little bit pinkish, isn't it?
You should be able to stand on that side.
Yeah, good.
A little bit more. Kind of.
There you go. That's better.
That's better than looking at my hotel room, right? Yeah, so I get to go home and work from home for a couple weeks here after this shift. So that's pretty sweet, man, too.
Yeah, Clay, I heard him talking today. He's looking around, got his feelers out for the booth camp this year. So Anyone who's serious about that, start milling about maybe in the chat and Discord.
Yeah. So I'm still serious about the whole fluff, send fluff to a System of a Down thing. Well, I don't actually think we'll make that happen. I never actually did. If it happens, fuck yeah, that'd be amazing. But everything that we can raise in that will be used to go to fund booth camp. So keep that in mind, Clay. And if there's anything in there for savings, I think it gives me a cutoff of like June-ish or something like that before it's going to refund everyone. But we can use that as a fundraising source to, fucking. Because if you were doing it on September 4th, Fluff won't be able to come to System of a Down anyways because he's going to go to booth camp, which makes sense. He should go to booth camp. So it's right. Yeah, we'll use that. But I still want to call it the Send Fluff to System of a Down.
Because yes. I'll be going to a concert on the 3rd and carrying on.
Oh, okay. If I thought you were talking about the 3rd of this month coming, I was like getting excited. I was like, "Oh, you didn't tell me. What is it? What is it?"
I'm waiting to find out. Fucking who was it? T. Barrington. I want to try to contact him. So if anyone's got his contact, Fluff said he does. Because I want to see, because I can get double tickets, one row behind you, 3 or 4 seats over, I think.
That would be amazing.
Single seats, I'm in a whole different fucking category. So I'm like, well, fuck. So I'm trying to find someone.
Nah, dude, that'd be amazing if that works out that way. I'm excited for that show. It's going to be great times.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So I guess since the last time I've seen you, I've gone to that Our Lady Peace concert.
Yeah, I've seen the videos.
Fucking cool, dude, man. It was that they were honestly, in my opinion, they were an hour and a half long concert that probably should have been an hour, but it was like a cool time when they do all the songs that you'd expect, and they end of the show, right? And then here comes the encore, and you get everybody screaming one more song and all that. But we were pretty hardcore nosebleeds, not right at the far back, but kind of just before you go into the corners, right? And as soon as we got there, I noticed what looked like a piano that had been covered with a curtain or whatever they used to do that for like drum kits and stuff out on the main stage. Oh, fuck, cool. I'll bet you during an encore, someone's going to come out and do some songs out there. And they fucking did. He comes out, starts the encore playing it was actually a pretty terrible piano song, in my opinion. I'm sure most of the people fucking loved it there, but it didn't do anything for me. But then while he's back there, they start playing the song 4 a.m. off their album Clumsy, which is actually one of my favorite songs of theirs, which I thought was super cool. And he starts doing that. And then the band comes out on stage and they start rocking out on there. And he makes his way from the piano in the back, gets out on the stage, and they finish the show like that. It was good times, man. They covered Tragically Hip during that show.
That's cool. Hip's a little hard because Gordy had such a weird like tone to his voice.
Yeah, he's got that
whiny, but like he could warble and do some weird shit with it. And it was like
he did a pretty good job on it because Rain Maid has got a bit of an awkward voice as well.
Yeah.
So it wasn't Gord Downey, but it was like he actually did it pretty good justice because he's, like I said, he's got that awkward voice. Now here's the freaking thing: his son was the opener of that show and has now beaten Oni as the worst opening act we have ever seen by far. Like, it's not even like in debate at this point. I understand the only reason he was able to do a show is because Daddy is the main man singing for the big band. The band that was playing behind him was not bad, and they would try and save a song here and there with like a pretty good guitar lick or something like that. But the whole time he's singing, he sounds like he's doing like one of those. Have you ever seen those videos of people trying to do those scream therapy sessions or whatever? It sounds like he's doing that with like a rock band playing kind of slowly in the background. And I'm just like, and my daughter and Ashley and I'm sitting between both of them, kind of look like this, or we're all just kind of like, what the fuck? When a 10-year-old is like 30 seconds into your song, going like your first song, wide-eyed and kind of sitting back like maybe something smells bad in front of her. Yeah. It was bad. I'm sorry Rowan, but yeah, not for us.
Your shit sucked.
Kind of windy out here.
Oh man! So those, I'm sure most of you saw my little Instagram post and saw the beans I had out the other day. Well, they've been sitting over there I put them in last night, so they sat in water for 12, paper towel for 24, and now they've been in dirt for 12, and I got one up above ground.
Fuck yeah.
Out of the 12.
Please remind me. 12, what do you got in there going right now again? Please remind.
Primal Punch F3, Rocky Mountain Strawberries from Dark Horse, and Grape Hoolie times Ghost Beach Autoflower by me. So
okay, I like it.
The Ghost Beach times, or the Grape Hoolie times Ghost Beach ones, all 6 of those had tails. The Rocky Mountain Strawberries, 1 of the 3 had tails. And the Primal Punch F3s, 1 had a nice tail, 1 was cracked open, and the other one was not.
So you've got the best germ rate.
I do. Yeah.
Fist bumps, my man.
Yeah, they're the newest though. That's what I always find when you crack seeds like within the first year of making them.
Oh yeah,
you can just fucking breathe on them. They're like, man. When you make hash out of weed, like fresh weed, you make hash that's seeded, and you dump that shit out. It'll be like wherever you are, it'll be sprouted. I think it happened to Frank. Oh, high and tight. I think it was fucking. Yeah, he made a bunch of hash with seeded weed, and when he dumped it in the compost or whatever, fucking all the seeds sprouted. I've had it happen too with hash weed that was all seeded. I'm looking forward to it because the Grape Hoolie is super sweet and like very flavorful. I haven't really smoked enough of it to judge anything on the buzz of it, but the Ghost Beach Autos were small like autos were, but really, really, really nice bud structure. It gave like
they had a lot of flavor to them, didn't they?
Didn't you
send me some Ghost Beach, I think.
Probably, yeah.
I think you did, and I think it was a good one. I'm pretty sure.
There was no weight there, like and shit, but it is what it is. I still want to dabble with the auto flowers because if I can figure out a way to, it's all numbers. If you can run a little more plant and still get a good harvest, you know what I mean. It could be worth it if you do it right.
Yeah.
So I'm interested to check those out because none of those really will be autos. I find that when you mix an auto, you gotta like bring it a few you gotta find one and then bring it down a few generations. Like they're not. I don't think they're in the first round. But I don't really know. I know nothing about them. But Primal Punch, they're deadly because the rosin Major brought here fucking tasted like peaches and the weed smells like banana bread. It's like, come on.
Yeah, can't do that to me. It's like
I'll take more of that. And the Rocky Mountain Strawberries was a gift from Noof, and some of the stuff I got in the bin is just getting old, where it's like, shit, I got this given to me and it's been this long, like it's time for them to go into the cycle, right? So
friggin' Noof has passed a lot of good stuff over our way too over the years, and like a lot of Dark Horse stuff, and I found it pretty well. Everything he sent from them was good. The Undercaker is one that I particularly remember, like really grapefruity, like that shit was fucking awesome.
Yeah, I think.
Shout out to Noof for being a rad dude. Let's do a dab for him.
Let's do it. Caveman, if you know more about this autoflower, how to start them off, let me know, because I've looked around a little bit and stuff, but like I don't understand. Obviously, I'm not a fucking plant biologist or anything, but it'd be nice to know, get the low rundown on how to initiate a photo period plant into an autoflower seed.
Keep crossing them. The autos will show themselves. The autos will show themselves, right?
Mm-hmm. I think, once you get to F2, but like, I guess, would every plant hold that autoflower trait and it just opens up, it just shows itself later on, or like,
it becomes recessive. My understanding, and I could be wrong on this, so if I am, light me up in chat, please. But once you breed ruderalis in, you cannot get rid of it. Now, clearly, we know that taking a ruderalis and a non-ruderalis, because ruderalis is what makes the auto do the autoing. Right now, you could once you take one of those and a photo, put them together. It doesn't mean you automatically get everything becomes auto. You got to. I've been told that F5, F6 before you start stabilizing that. But one good thing about if you are breeding autos, the plants will show themselves. Right? It would actually. I feel like you'd be able to breed faster projects doing autos because the plants will sex themselves and you got to pick and choose your favorites. Now, where it would get hard, in my opinion, is you can't keep clones and retry this stuff. Well, I've been told you can clone autos, but it's difficult and there's more. It's not like photos, so we just pretend you can't. Right, but it's the unfortunate thing with the autos is you can't just be like, okay, that's my keeper plant that I'm just going to keep using that to cross with. You got to be good at picking your males and your females, or perhaps just keep all your females and pollinate everything with what is your favorite male from at the time or whatever, and then just pick your favorite of the females. Keep track of them. Okay, this one smells like this. I really like it. Oh, this one smells like this, and it's stickier. Oh, okay. So maybe that's the one that we're going to pop those seeds first because they had more desirable traits. And then, of course, you'd probably do some smoking or do some hashing, like you're talking there. Maybe turn it into hash. Or I would. So.
Yeah, because like I've done a couple crosses like that, just looking not for auto flowers, but exactly what K-Man's saying, the semi-auto kind of thing, the fast flowering that you get from the F1 round. I did take some haram berries a couple years ago to F3, and I did create auto flower seeds, but I also did create some that didn't auto, so there was a mix in there. So yeah, it was just. I'm sure if once I got to that F3 stage and was pulling auto male and female and bringing it to 4 and then 5, 6, 7, whatever, you could be locked in complete by then. I think I've sat and watched many things on the breeding and how it all works and the charts and all that, but it's hard to retain some of that stuff when you're not, you're not doing it all the time, and it's not your background, right?
Yep.
I just love having fun down here, growing cannabis, and every once in a while chucking some pollen around and making seeds for myself. It's so neat sitting down. You've done it. You know the feeling. You're all excited. You've made this cross. Everything worked out. The seeds are tiger striped. They're just falling off the plant. You're like, woohoo! Sitting down there all over the table everywhere. It's like,
I remember the very first breeding project I ever did. So the intended cross was a chem dog and an Afghani. And what I thought was happening, and that ended up being an accidental pollination, but it was what I wanted to do. And so, I'll just tell the story, I guess. So when how like if you do a cross, you're generally gonna pollinate more than one plant with that male, right? You'll like have like 3 or 4, possibly more in there. And I had going on, there was a strawberry diesel, a Durban poison, I think white widow, and I had the chem dog. But the chem dog was like 8-9 weeks or something like that into bloom already, so I didn't actually pollinate that. That was like it was a contamination that was just happened to be really lucky because I thought it was too far gone to waste our time with it, and I didn't have a clone to pollinate. And so I remember it was hanging off the freaking shower curtain rod in our bathroom. And I was looking in there at one point in time and I could see the freaking seed on it freaking squishing out there. I was like, oh my God, there's one of my seeds right there. I knew everything else, all the other ones were pollinated. And I was excited about those, but it wasn't the chem dog that I really wanted to pollinate. And oh my God, now it's got a fucking seed. And I think I got 86 total seeds out of that. if I recall correctly. And every fucking time I found a new one, I'd bring it out and show the ex-wife, wife at the time, right? And I'd be just so excited, like little kid on Christmas morning excitement type levels here. And she would just, yeah, that's cute, like, maybe was excited or reasonably happy for me the first time I came out like that. And then, like, by the 86th seed, she's just, fuck off. Like, I don't want to hear it.
Oh, I showed up under your name, but whatever. Discord. We got a Discord link? I'm a fucking loser. I should have.
Yeah, I can possibly figure it out. Does it not go into the that would take computerizing. In the description below, there should be the Discord link, though. Fuck, too high for this. This is what happens when I don't smoke my morning weed, and then I come home and smoke 3 joints fucking after work, and I just
I don't know how to fucking invite people to do anything.
No hable un computer.
Yeah, it's fucking. I'm gonna end up disconnecting or something. I keep fucking around.
Yeah, be that guy.
Someone out there that knows what they're doing. There you go. Thanks, Weed Nerd. Woo.
Thanks, Weed Nerd. You're the man. Let's do a dab for Weed Nerd because you literally rescued us on that one, dude.
Two of us up here running the show. Yeah, we don't got no link. Just no.
Thank you, Jay. Yeah.
But this is how simple we are. We're not digging for anything. We're not digging for the gold. We're just up here hanging out and chilling. Yeah, not trying to persuade anyone into anything.
Yeah. Yeah, no, just happy to be up here hanging out with my friends.
You know it.
Like I said, it was a good day to do.
Hell yeah. Let's hope. I don't know if you hear the dog going crazy. Mom and Dad are home. Yeah, I don't know. See what they think of me starting up the garden again. I don't know.
I say don't tell them and see how long it takes for them to figure it out.
Yeah, they'll never know. Perfect. I'm excited to know.
I am convinced that like what I've got going on in my bedroom, you could have other people living in the house, and if I wasn't so open about it everywhere else, because like I'm not shy. Like if I actually kept my bedroom door closed and stuff like that, and I don't think anyone would actually know. Save for when you harvest, I think that might be a little hard. And I really do like the shower curtain rod method. I've actually gone back to that because so I've mentioned many times now that keeping stuff moist enough for like a 10-day, 2-week plus curing period, dry curing period or whatever before you trim it. That's not a thing. It's not possible. You're lucky to get like 4 or 5 days. So we started, I found on at least in winter while it's cooler, I hang them on the shower curtain rod and keep the fan on in there. It's always cooler in the bathroom, right? And it does seem to take at least a day longer. So we're looking at like,
there you go.
It's 4 to 6 days, depending on what you're putting in there. And it keeps the smell down, actually. Just keep closing the bathroom door, keep it closed, light off so people can see under the door if anyone's in there or not, right? And
I'm lucky. I was able last few years, like owning my own home, I was able to just bring it into the basement, fucking blow the whole fucking place up. Was that ignorant of me? Kind of, sort of, but like the people that lived here at the time were in agreement with it, so whatever. Yeah. But yeah, it's tough sometimes, man. Shit stinks. Even just the smoking of it, like if you're around somewhere that's very clean area, you light up a fucking big joint, it's gonna smell.
Yeah.
But it smells like medicine to me, man. Speaking of that, let's back into the roll. I was working on a ladder today in the rain. Like, oh fuck. At one point, the water was dripping off the roof because the building's unfinished, so it was just a steel roof dripping water onto my head. And I was like, I'm trying to reach over to do this weld, and the drip of water is going behind my Weldon helmet and hit me like in the top of the forehead, like right here, like a steady stream of cold water and bouncing inside my helmet. Like, this is so much fun. Can't wait to come back tomorrow and do this again.
Joy.
Yeah. But then it was awesome. Boss man's like, go down and pick up the galvanized steel instead. I'm like, okay. That's a multi-hour drive down to Toronto, back. Yeah. But it's a 24-foot trailer and probably a 20-foot truck. Dodge Ram 3500 four-door long box. So it's like, hey, last time driving that thing around, man, I'm surprised I didn't fucking take something out.
Yeah, I've been there. Yeah, I driving our trucks that like trailers or the boom trucks with the chippers on the backs, then like
Yeah, you know,
stuff like that, man. Like fuck that. Like it's I'm lucky that my general foreman doesn't like me enough to have never splurged on getting me air brakes, which means because most of our boom trucks have air brakes, which means hey man, one less thing for me to do is how I look at it. I spent 3.5 years asking for him to get me my
I'll take
brakes.
that seat, the one without the driving wheel, steering wheel.
Exactly. And actually, it was funny because I was talking to him today when I found out that I was going home after this shift. Just give him a call, find out what we've got going on back home for the couple of weeks. And he said he's actually real happy with me and the way things have been going. Me and him, we've butted heads several times, but he's also been really cool to me a few times when he didn't need to be either. So I do have to at least give him that. But now that he's basically giving me a company truck and just hey, they need you here for a while. Okay, you're done there. Now they need you over here. Okay, now you got to go help those guys for a while. And I've been enjoying it. It's a freaking great time. And it freaking isn't any wear and tear on my vehicle because there's a lot of y'all know I spent the first 8-9 months of last year working on the road constantly. And that was all miles on my personal vehicle to the point of I'm actually at the point now where making repairs to it on the monthly because it just needs a few seals replaced, right? Transmission seal, axle seal, all that good stuff. And I do believe a lot of that is coming from lots and lots of miles I put on. My company put like 26,000 kilometers on my vehicle last year.
Oh, yeah, it was really exciting listening to a couple of the boys in the Discord today talking about booth camp again. Like for the guys that were able to come up here to Canada from the States, I appreciate that so much. Like Fluff, it was so nice to see him show up here. It was pretty cool. Big word. It's a little bit of ways to travel, man. That was cool as hell, man. And mine was just a little minor blip. Like the one down south, man, blew my fucking mind. Like I've been on some cool camping trips, but I've been a drinker most of my life. So like most of those camping trips were like wasted fucking time, man. So, like good times, but like wasted. There's like, sitting around a campfire, not doing much and just kind of getting polluted. Booth camp, man, there's like we were just having a blast all day, man, sitting and talking and testing out different weeds and looking at them and eating mushrooms and shit. Oh, what a blast.
It sounds absolutely like it.
Yeah, lobster. I got to meet lobster, man. Fucking, he spun everyone's world out in one day. That was fucking awesome. Kingfisher cooking up fucking awesome grub. Dan and Clay running around like fucking high school fucking kids, giggling and causing fucking ruckus. All stoned out of their trees. So, good times. I'm excited about it. I can't wait.
It's wicked.
I wonder if there's enough folks on the fucking western side of Canada to whip something together.
There's like me and Colton.
Yeah, I know.
Hey, Joel Scott.
Throwing down in his fucking greenhouse.
Actually, Lori Edburn, I haven't seen her around in a hot minute, but she's actually, I got to drive through her town. I drove through it on the way to get here. I got to drive through it on the way to get back. And I've thought about reaching out to her, see if she's interested in meeting up for a joint or two.
Oh shit!
Cheers, Ty. Delman. Hardcore. See you. Thunder Dan. Galaxy Solutions. Dead Kurt. Cheers, brother. Let's Squisher. Jeffro.
It's pretty neat too to like watch the whole gang do like their own little rally before the party. They got to grow a strain and bring it there to represent, right? So like if you're hanging out in Discord with the boys and girls there, you get to see them. What are you gonna do this year? What do you bring down? Blah, blah. The pop, the veg, the flour out of it. It's pretty neat. Sucks for me because I can't bring shit. But it's not all about that. It's just about getting together and having fun and meeting people face to face.
Absolutely. But yeah, I would be like, fuck, I wish I could have brought something. So I totally feel you on that one, dude.
I want to like send some seeds to somebody to grow it for me. So at least it'll be a strain I picked or maybe a strain I made. But
it's not a bad idea.
Yeah, I guess this weekend they got the February fire going on somewhere over where is that? Is it Virginia? Where the hell is that?
I believe so.
Yeah, man, I'm kind of jealous. There's no events around here that are like hippie like that. Okay. Everything here is like a little more. Doesn't.
Dude, I live in BC where the shit was practically legal fucking 20 years before it was legal, and nothing cool fucking happens in BC, and it's just they do. Vancouver does do a pretty big 420 celebration every year, so I'm not 100% accurate on that, but other than that, it's like there really isn't anything. There's no grow competitions that I'm aware of or anything like that. And it's the ones that do happen, it seems to be like you got to work at a dispensary where it's that's not my kind of cannabis right there.
I've been to.
There's you got cannabis, but then you got cannabis culture, and just because you sell cannabis at a store or whatever doesn't mean you're a part of the culture. Doesn't mean you're not either, but it doesn't mean you are, right? Because
it's a whole subculture in its own.
Yeah,
like I've been out and about enough at events that are open to public, but mainly for bud tenders and such, and a lot of the stuff there is all LP stuff, licensed producer stuff. So it's like you have to go to just the way it's structured in Canada. There's no avenue for legal market of homegrown kind of stuff. This doesn't exist. Micros, yes, but that still falls under a category of inspection, and you know what I mean. It's just a very, very small LP, as opposed to one that's a massive fields and greenhouses or whatever, right? So yeah, it's either one or the other. And when you're at the place that's public and with the LP stuff, it's all in pink, shiny packages. And
I've got that's not cannabis culture.
No,
that's cannabis sterilized, in my opinion.
It's cannabis sales.
Made to look like a hospital, boring and just like.
They make it hypey and all. Like, they do what they have to do to sell it. Like I get it, it sells. It just is what it is. But it's a whole new culture on its own. The cannabis culture we know and cherish. I don't know if it's still happening with like 15 to 20-year-olds. I don't know. I don't hang out with them. I don't know any of them. I'll know soon because my daughter's growing up and. I'm going to have her listen to Led Zeppelin and ride motorcycles and shit. So she's going to be a cool chick. Now let's see if she, has rips in her jeans and wears tie-dye t-shirts, or does that still exist? I don't know.
My kid's already got the fucking ripped jeans. Like she'll get us to buy them for her with the rips already in them. I'm just like, good God,
Yeah, we'll see. I don't know. And like her mom's got dreads, right? So like, and worked at a cannabis store, and I'm sure is still involved in the cannabis scene somehow. So there's that. When both your parents are the way her parents are,
Yeah. Yeah, I kind of hope mine doesn't get into the whole fucking going out drinking and partying and stuff like that. Because, like, I was like 13 and stuff like that when I started getting into harder drugs. And it just, I imagine they're still accessible, if not even more accessible than they are. And the fact that the schools here in BC are starting to freaking hand out safer snorting kits and give you instructions on how to snort drugs. What in our fucking schools? What? You're basically fucking encouragement at that point. That's nothing more than encouragement, and that scares the shit out of me, man. With the amount of fentanyl deaths and stuff we have, I just hope she has enough sense. So the good thing running on that is I don't drink, and her mom doesn't drink, to the best of my knowledge either. We were together for 8 years, and I saw her have maybe 6 drinks in that entire 8 years. Mm-hmm. So hopefully there's that, but her best friend is going to be the wild one that gets her into shit. I've already heard talks about going out drinking and stuff like that when she gets older, right? So she just, I think like a lot of us, and myself included, at that age, so I'm talking about like grade 5ers and stuff, that's just something that you do as you get older, right? You start getting drunk with your friends and stuff like that, and you know that even before you get into it, because you see your parents doing it or whatever like that. And every time mom and dad get drunk, they laugh a lot and seem to have a lot more fun and stuff. Like kids see that. It looks fun. And hey, when we get into doing it, guess what? Hey, yeah, it is pretty fun, right? But
my daughter was only 3 or 4 when I quit. So hopefully none of that really sticks in there. I wasn't really drunk at the house either. Just going out partying all the time. Going out and having fun.
Yeah.
I should start doing that again. Not the drinking part, but just going out and having fun.
I won't have fun all the time. Problem is, there's not people to have fun with.
Yeah, I'm stuck inside this house all the time.
Dude, it's because like you think of all the fucking cool shit that I'm out doing with my family and stuff like that on the regular basis, but it's always just us. And hey, guess what? That's cool. I'm more than happy to go and do cool shit with my favorite people in the world. But it would be cool if other people would come along sometimes, but everybody just seems overly content to sit on the fucking couch and just wait to go to work again on Monday. And I feel like I understand it, because I feel like in a lot of ways that was me for a lot of years. And I feel like that's one of the reasons why you drank and stuff like that, right? You kind of live for the weekends because you got to go to work on Monday, blah, blah, blah. Now I'm at the point in my life where I'm sitting here in a hotel room, 10-hour drive away from home, and I am acting like I don't have a fucking job tomorrow. I could be in my bedroom at home. I'm clearly not, but I try to put the fact that there's a work truck right outside that fucking door. Yeah, put that out of my head completely.
Mm-hmm.
And don't worry about tomorrow will come. Yes, I know I got to go to work. That is my reality. But for these hours here, this is my fucking time. Fuck that. I don't let that invade my head. And it's even better than that on the weekends, because shit, now I've got multiple days in a row where I don't even have to fucking consider that out there. And I've at some point in time in this last year, I think it's been really, where I'm just like, freaking don't let work live rent free in your head is one of my biggest things. And you don't have to be going out and doing cool shit all the time. Maybe if you're content to sit at home, that's your choice. Go feel free to do that. But don't fucking worry about work and stress out about going to work the next day. Don't fucking let that shit fucking fuck you up. When I met my ex-wife, when we moved in, like I've always been a union guy. I have no problem speaking my mind, and management in any position, any field I've ever worked in has never liked that. They like to kind of just do their things unchecked. And if you're the one doing checking, it gets you in trouble. Forget where I was going with that. Just kind of did that.
Boss is stuck. Something like that.
Yeah. Oh yeah. So, anyways, working at this sawmill, and we're to the point of like I've taken this company to arbitration for an unjustified suspension. The guy for Tolko in Williams Lake at that time, he's fucking now got his fast fired and down the road because it was not a winnable case for them. We made them look stupid. So, all right, you're constantly doing this with the company, though, is what I'm getting at. Right? I go to work. I'd get up in the morning. I'm a morning person. I'm usually pretty happy in the morning. Drive to work. It was about an hour-long drive to work, so you get to crank your music. I had a really good fucking car stereo at the time, and so I'm like, yeah, this isn't bad. I show up to work. I'm in a great mood. Let's fucking do this. By the time I finish my 10-hour shift, I'm just completely fucking miserable and rattled. Get me the fuck out of here. The hour-long drive isn't enough to calm me down. I'm still fucking miserable when I walk through the door. The ex-wife at that time, she knew me well enough to know that it's not her, it's not the kids or anything like that. It's just the fucking job has me miserable, and just get out of my way. Let me be me, and I'll calm down eventually. I didn't drink or smoke pot at this point in time. I also like to mention that caffeine was the only thing I was doing, was not drinking coffee. But the kids, Lyndon and Lena, were I think 2 and 4 at the time, if I recall, or 2 and 5. And they didn't know. They didn't know it's a job, right? I come home and I'm not necessarily good at hiding emotions and stuff. And they think I'm fucking upset because of them or something they did. And that's not cool to them, because it sure as fuck wasn't their fault. It had nothing to do with them. It was the job. And I think back on that. And there's been times where this job has gotten me plenty fucking stressed out or rattled too. But then you just learn to water off a duck's back. It's this. Most jobs will have your freaking the help wanted ad out in the paper before you're fucking laid in the ground, and that's just a stone cold fact. Where the fuck did that come from? Oh, that was your computer. I know that was your computer, but how did that happen? You're on mute.
That was our lovely friend Kingfisher trolling me. I was still in Discord by myself, I guess, and he popped in and was like, "Dab frog."
Cheers, King.
We're like, I was like, what? I'm looking at my computer. I don't know computers that well. Right? Couldn't tell I was on there still. Fucking.
But yeah, dude, we'll do Dab frog. He got me like that a couple months. Well, I think more than a couple months ago now. But we were I was in there trying to stream some fights, and Discord wasn't letting me stream them. And so, but it was letting him do it. So I'd forgotten to leave Discord, and I was in StreamYard, I think, watching him because I'd posted a link or something like that. And he, jumped in there too. I didn't realize he was in there. It scared the shit out of me. But then he was in my StreamYard, and he was streaming my StreamYard into the Discord so people could watch fights. And apparently it was actually like the best streaming that they'd ever done from the fight. So apparently that works.
Yeah, I don't know too much all about it. So no, it's good though. That was funny. Always good for a laugh.
Yeah.
Fuck, I fell asleep in the Irie one the other night. We were in there. It was in there really late, doing some dabs and laughing and fucking shit. And I set my computer down and I was doing something. Then I got into bed and couldn't really reach it. And I was like, fucking, I'll get up in a minute and deal with that. And they're on your time, so they're 3 hours behind. And yeah, by the time I was getting up, they were still in there. I was like, holy fuck. Woke up to fucking people's voices. Freaked me out.
Yeah, it's weird.
Who's in here?
where Creston is, it's like, I can't remember if I mentioned this earlier in the show, if it was the pre-show, but so Creston is in BC, but it's close enough, I guess, to Alberta that they're on Alberta time right now. So there's the hour time change. Alberta's an hour ahead of BC time. And the stretch of highway we're working on, depending on where you're at, for minute to minute, you could jump between Alberta and BC time. So we're constantly looking at, or for like, actually, this is where it did us really dirty. We had an hour left in our day, and then it switched back to BC time, and we thought we had 2 hours left in our day. That's fucking dirty. You know, we're smart enough to know better than that, because sure as fuck wasn't going to work an 11th hour for free. You know, it's confusing as hell. And then coming in to do the show, you know, an hour early, I come home, do all like jump in the shower and do all the usual stuff, go smoke a couple joints before showtime, get in here ready to go about 8 minutes before show. And I'm like, wait, what? It's not for another hour? Oh shit! Well, what am I going to do now? All the boys went to the pub and had a beer, and I'm like, well, and I think it's actually just right over there. And I'm like, well, fuck, I could have gone and at least not had a beer, but fucking
French fries.
I had a clubhouse or something like that. Man, I love pub food.
Mm-hmm.
Got some calamari because fuck yeah, I like calamari.
Love that stuff. I went out for dinner the other night. Our town is kind of sucks because we're a small town around here, so it's like there's not many places to go. So it's
I totally get that, dude.
Healthy Boston pizza bullshit. But it was actually good. What did I have? I had the Cajun shrimp, which I usually have. It ran through me pretty good though, so I wasn't fucking too keen on that. It didn't make me sick, but it was like, you know, that's all I need to say. But and the fucking French fries were on point. So Kelsey's French fries, fucking on point. I was stealing them from all the plates around me. Yeah, that's nice. Don't get to it much.
Yeah, that's one thing I wish we actually did have more like friend type people around in our area. It's be nice to get together with like-minded adults. But that doesn't exist back there, so I come hang out with awesome people. You look at my sweet new lighter. I found a Van Halen lighter, so there's no way I wasn't fucking buying that.
Yeah, I'll take that.
Smoke.
Oh, Jay Patrick saying, you know, when I pass it, or did you draw a penis on his face or whatever? I'm sure we all did it as kids, man. Like when you're at a sleepover and the first kid passes out, you just start doing all the shit fucking that you've seen before people do to people sleeping.
Dude, it took me until about grade 10 to figure out to slow the fuck down on the drinking. I was always the one where everyone else was, you know, on a cup that size. You got like that much rye, that much Coke kind of thing. I was always the 50-50 or more guy. And I'd always have like 2 or 3 drinks done before they'd have their fucking 2 done, you know, but I was also always the first one to puke and pass out. It took me a few years to figure that out, slow it down just a bit. But it was also around that time where I moved in with my brother. So, because my parents kicked me out of the house for being a little prick and, you know, living with him. So alcohol was a lot more frequently available. Kind of thing.
I'm not going to let none of you motherfuckers mess with me. Oh, fuck. That's too funny. We did it to my buddy so bad one night. Like, he was wasted. We were, like, just, not just, like, obscene shit, but for just funny stuff. Like, just 2 big spirals on one on each side, like, the tip of his nose, all this shit. Like, just decorated the crap out of it. And he woke up, like, all hungover late for work. He worked at Zeller's. I don't know if you guys remember Zeller's, the department store.
Oh, yeah.
So he was like a shelf stalker. He was, you know, teenager or whatever. Fuck. We dropped him off and he was just all fucked up. He's like, he was so mad. He's like, I got in there and my manager's like, what the fuck, man? Get out of here now. Covered in fucking cartoon pornography.
I only ever got drawn on fucking twice. The first time was the usual dicks all over my face when I passed out at my buddy Justin's house. Him and his brother fucking drew me up real good. And then the next time I was like 19 or 20 years old. And I remember it was like one of the few times, just coming off one of the few times I'd done meth. And every time, I've only done meth like 4 or 5 times, but every time I did it was for like a week straight, right? And it was coming off of one of those where I hadn't eaten much for the better part of the week, and freaking meet this new chick, and we become a couple, and let's go to this party and start fucking drinking on an empty stomach for the better part of, like I said, you haven't really eaten much in days. And that was a bad decision because I passed out on my buddy's couch. I remember waking up, fucking everybody's gone, dark. So, okay, everybody must be sleeping or whatever. Stumble into the bathroom, take my piss. As I'm walking out, I noticed something in the mirror. Like, what the fuck is that? Look, where my eyebrow used to be, there was stitches drawn on it. And I'm like, oh, you motherfuckers. I remember being so pissed off, I was about ready to fight anybody that came across my path. But by the time I got up out of the bathroom and into the living room again and nobody's around, I was still so fucked up that I was like, fuck, I got to go sleep on the couch again. And so not much I could do at that point.
Shaved your eyebrow and replaced it with a stitch. That's pretty
I ended up getting the guy back. It was probably a year and a half later. And he was passed out on a different buddy's couch. And my buddy Sloat was like, oh, fuck, Dave's on the couch. I was like, oh, yeah. So I went and found a razor, and I kept trying to fucking shave it, and he kept waking up. So we ended up getting like half of his eyebrow off. He wouldn't shave the other half off, and he looked pretty stupid for the longest time. But he was one of those dudes that always had like long hair, trench coat, fingernail polish and stuff like that, which was fine. It was just, he was the different kind of guy, right? So he was able to almost make it look like a fashion statement that he's fucking had the fucking half an eyebrow shaved off, whereas I was just like, fuck. Ended up shaving. I shaved the second, like when I did, I shaved the other one off because I was like, well, fuck, I'm not going to be all uneven and shit, right? Go to work the next day with my freaking toque pulled down, freaking so you couldn't see my eyes. Everyone at work thought it was a haircut. Oh, we must have lost a bad bet and fucking got a bad haircut or something like that. Nah, no, much worse than that.
So I took a gamble. You guys are probably gonna be like, you fucking idiot. But my truck's got a leaky tire right now, and it's like not reliable, and it's just on its way out. I don't like driving it. I don't have any stores in my town. I have to drive like 20 minutes to the store. So I'm like, I got a little bit. I do have a bag of Pro Mix now that I look over there, so I should have just used that. But I didn't. I have a bin of soil that was made up months ago. It might even be a year ago. I don't even know when it was made, to tell you the honest truth. It's just there. It was the most accessible soil I had. So I'm a little concerned. I don't know if you guys remember one time I put my seeds in some hot soil. Didn't work out. I didn't mean to necessarily. I found out it was hot when all the seeds came up and sizzled. But yeah, we're gonna find it, I guess. But I'm so excited, man! I got 12 of them sitting over there, and there's one. Yeah, I wouldn't say it's up, but it's still got its helmet on, but it's poking through the surface. It's a very, very, very small. But
it's really exciting.
I love those videos people have, like the multi-day videos sped up. I don't know what it is, like a bunch of pictures taken. Yeah, and you see the little thing wiggling up. So
yeah, it's some cool shit. Cheers, Marshall.
Yeah, fucking what up, Marshall? Seen Art Man strolled in there a couple minutes ago.
Cheers, Art. Great to see you, brother.
Yes. Okay. Yeah, I got some BAM off to a friend today, and he said it smells great. And well, it was BAM, a handful of BAM, and some. Was it the Hawaiian times? Yeah, the Hawaiian Black Widow Cross. So he just texted me, said, smells great. Let's see how wacky I get. Now I'm just like, I want to kind of ask him what one it was that he, because they all smell great.
Yeah,
fresh weed chopped up seems good.
Last time I was home, I just transplanted some BAMs, 4 of them into one gal's. They're getting nice and big in the solo cups, but we're really bad at keeping cup plants in solo cups and letting them dry out and shit. But that being said, I like at the same time I did those ones, I up potted I think it's our keeper of investment dog that's like 3 feet tall and like fairly wide and was in a solo cup for freaking months. So now that's getting new roots on it. I got to cut a whole bunch of clones off that because can't lose that, man. That investment dog is good
stuff.
Yeah, I really like it.
Oh, what do you have here? A full bowl. Don't mind if I do. Let's get a frog out to the folks here. Boom.
Look at that. Here's Jags.
Oh, yes.
Huh. Oh, shit. We're in overtime.
I did. Well, look at us go. Strolling along. Just having fun, man.
Wow. Freaking time flies. Said, man, it's been a good day.
Yeah. I had a great day, too. Productive. We did some hard work today. We had, we erected a bunch of steel, a bunch of 10-inch I-beam. Couple, what were the full lengths? 13, 14. So like 27 feet, 20 some odd feet long. So we had to put 6 uprights and then lay 2 big beams on top of those 3 and then connect them at the ends with the little ones. And do some welding and some fastening and stuff. So I was on the top of a ladder in the rain, like I said, with raindrops falling through my helmet and stuff, and I was working an impact gun. So it was like super fun. But it's weird, like as a fucking dude, that shit don't bother me. Like I don't know, like it does bother me, like, but it doesn't, because it's like, well, I'm getting paid good in this. Or some people just do, like your job's way worse. I'm not even gonna fucking touch that one, but you get out there and do it, and it's like fucking. Some people wouldn't even fathom doing that shit.
Hey, do you know what's fucking awesome about this? Like I was talking about the young guys we're working with. They're young and fairly new to the industry, so there's inexperience, but they're not unwilling. And it's fucking awesome because the contract we just came from, you got 2 young guys that are slightly more experienced than the fucking, the CUA is a little bit more experienced than the CUA we're working with here, but his groundman was used. But those guys they're actively avoiding work and cherry picking and trying to give us all the hard shit so that they could sit in the truck and do fucking nothing. And these guys, when there's something that they're going to have trouble with, they're not like, hey, can you come do this? They're like, hey, can you come give us a hand? And we're like, fucking rights, we'll come give you a hand. Because that means you can help us get it down. We help you. It's a 2-way thing. Because like it's basically me and my Rudy, my CUA. It's a 2-man crew typically. And on hazardries, when you got a 3rd set of hands, it makes things so much easier. If you got 4 sets of hands, you always have one guy sitting around doing nothing. It's almost always a reality. It is what it is. But a three people works. But when you have a difficult site where it's fucking going to be a big deal and the 2 of you might not be able to, well, fuck yeah, we'll come in and we've got a pretty cool bag of tricks for getting stuff. This gas winch you guys have heard me talk about a few times, man. That has saved me and my body more times than I can count at this point. And so we get in there, we show that to these young guys, and they're just like, fuck yeah. And I love it. It's a great attitude. They're willing to do the work and they want to learn. They'll still tell you the job sucks because it does, but it's like they got the understanding of, though, this is what we signed up for. This is what we do. It doesn't matter if you like the job or not, or like want to do this, to do the trees or not. Like, this is the job. We got to get them done. It's more often than not, I don't want to be there because, I didn't even want to fucking get out of bed this morning. But I got bills to pay and a family to feed and all that stuff, which requires me to go. And you know what? In all the, it's not a miserable time being out there more often than not. Yeah, you got to work hard, but we're working with good people. Like this 2-man crew that I have, me and Rudy, we get along fucking great. And when we're on a site, we typically don't even have to talk to each other, right? We do, because we're joking and laughing the whole time. But it's just like you just see what needs to be done, and you both know what your role is going to be. I fucking love it. I fucking love it, man.
Oh. Yeah, I don't see too many young guys in my trade. I'm sure they're out there. Just not. I don't see them. But I'm always on real small crews and stuff. I don't work in large production places or like. I'm sure in the union there's lots of young guys, but
I would think so. There's got to be kids that are still smart enough to realize if my kid were to ask for advice, I would say get a trade over, go to university or college and get some supposedly high paying job, right? Trades will always be in demand. There's always going to be welding that needs to be done. There's always going to be plumbing that needs to be done, carpentry, or whatever, right? Like there's stuff needs to be built. Electricians, probably more and more electricians the way we're going and trying to go green and more towards electricity. So,
and don't forget the HVAC dudes.
Shut up. Yeah, absolutely.
I was yelling at that Dan and Lobster there. Yeah. Trey's always be there to fuck you up. Yeah. It's fun though. Like I've been introduced to larger job sites now. Before I was doing mostly private stuff up in cottage country, where you're either on someone's private land, or I was working in a factory in town, a small factory in town. So I ended a factory at West, not a factory, but a fab shop. Anyways, like I hadn't had much introduction to, I guess what you call like a large professional job site, like a erection of a brand new gigantic building kind of thing, where there's fucking everybody and everything going on all at once, right? Some of the times, sometimes you get there and it's like, holy fuck, look at all this shit going on today. I guess we had to get everyone to move their cars today to bring in a fucking gigantic crane, swinging I-beams all over the place. Me and one other dude, that's it. It was fun though.
Good times at work. Yeah, I like it. Like I said, if you got to get out of bed and pay bills and shit like that, you might as well have a job that you aren't miserable at. Right?
Mm-hmm. Some days I do, but it's like, whatever. We'll get through.
That'll be anywhere you go, anything you do, though. I feel like there's some days just do not go right,
Mm-hmm.
I just had one of those just a couple days ago, and then you get like the payoff is like the last 2 days I've had have actually been great. I haven't had to work particularly hard. And actually, like I said, once again, we've had a couple of young guys that actually yesterday I fucking basically stood there and watched 2 young guys climb. And just hooked the fucking rope up to my really sweet gas winch. And they're not a fast climbers either, for about an hour per tree. So it was lots of freaking just sitting there bullshitting and talking. And that's sweet because we don't get many days like that. Usually you're freaking in the trenches, freaking busting your hump. Cheers, laid back dad. Cheers, Dr. LeBay. But what do you figure? Time to wrap her up. I'm
I'm
some grub
pretty
cooking.
still tired. Yeah, I've got to eat. What's that?
I like that. I want to thank everybody for jumping in here and hanging out with us tonight. We had a big crowd in here for a Thursday night.
Yeah,
Bigger than usual for sure. I like to
Yeah.
see it. Thank you. If you haven't already, hit the thumbs up button, like and subscribe, all that good stuff. Share the word with a friend. Let them know what's up. And then they can come and hit like and subscribe. We'll be back Sunday. I think I might be able to jump in for possibly the first half hour of Sunday, but I'll be after that. I will have to get going to work. So that's straight. We seem to be rolling around 6:30, which better than nothing. But if I'm going to be working from home after that, that means I'll be back to Monday to Fridays, which means I'll be back for all Sundays again, which will be pretty sweet as well, because that means I'm sleeping in my own bed every weekend, and I like that. I like that very much. With that, I guess we're out here. Anova, cheers. See you at the buzzer. And we'll see you all Sunday.
Everyone go check out Dead Kurt's bands he's shouting out there.
Oh, yeah.
That's it.